What's up, everybody? Wes here, getting ready to load up my Jackson Coosa HD and head out to Fox Grove on the Tuolomne River. Going to try to make up for my lackluster event on Sunday. I haven't been to Fox Grove in some time. I may not catch anything, I don't know, but I'm going to go give it a shot. I'm going to go through my baits that I've got rigged up so for my trip out there. I've got Strike King's version of a Cinco tied on in watermelon red, and then also got a KVD Sexy Shad half-ounce spinnerbait. And then a Zoom brush hog in green pumpkin with red flake, red and black flake. And then I also have a drop shot tied on as my backup. I haven't picked my bait yet, but I've got a couple in the box. Most likely a rubber worm. Those are my favorite. So I'm gonna head out there, see how I do. Load up the Coosa. It's gonna take a little bit. And get everything loaded in the Durango, and then head on out there. And then I'll do a follow-up on how everything went. So wish me luck. There was actually one more catch that I didn't get on camera because, like a numbskull, I forgot to turn the camera back on when I changed my batteries. So here are the pictures of the fish. Those are actually that's actually the same fish that I had hooked at the beginning, early in the morning. I knew that if I come back there at the end of the day, because she wasn't committing to the bed after I hooked her the first time, I knew if I came back, I have a decent chance of trying to catch her again. And sure enough, I did. She came in at 20.5 inches. That's estimated between like 5.5 pounds, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited about that. The fish that broke off the crankbait, I think, is probably just as good, just as big as that one, if not bigger, which is pretty cool. That helped make my day feel a lot better. I got on the water about 11 a.m. and I got off a quarter after 5 in the evening. I saw a lot of water hyacinth out there. Surprisingly, quite a ways up the river from the delta. The delta has a lot of it. It seems to be everywhere. It's actually becoming quite the nuisance. They're having to bring in a cruise to actually remove the water hyacinth because it's actually choking out large parts of the delta, and it's actually making its way up the river into the Tuolumne, which isn't necessarily a good thing. It actually choked out some pretty productive looking water, stuff I haven't fished before, but I would have loved to fish it if there wasn't any water hyacinth in there. Might be some good areas to do some punching or something, but that's for another day. I did see a lot of bedfish. After I saw that first one first thing in the morning, I knew that's probably what I was going to do. Probably spend most of my day looking and searching and trying to catch fish on beds. I did see quite a few of them. I did see a lot of shorter fish on beds, but I was looking for something maybe a little bit bigger, a little more fun, and I did manage to at least hook 2 that were relatively good-sized fish. Most of the fish I did see were up shallow. I didn't really see any roaming out in the deeper water in the grass, and all of them were keying on wood, which is pretty typical of a bass, anyways. Didn't really see any out in the grass. I started my day throwing the spinnerbait, but shortly after throwing the spinnerbait, I saw the fish on the bed. Quickly switched, picked up my brush hog, and started throwing that. I did throw the Cinco a little bit, not much. The spinnerbait and the Cinco seem to be used a lot out at Fox Grove. Everybody pretty much knows them. Knows those who don't fish a lot do know the spinnerbait. You know, it's a pretty easy fish catching, cast and reel kind of thing. And the Cinco is really easy to fish too. They're very productive. I didn't throw the drop shot like I thought. I thought I might. It was kind of more of as a backup, just in case it was pretty tough, but I didn't end up needing to throw it. I picked up the square bill and changed it and threw the square bill instead of the spinnerbait, because the spinnerbait wasn't really doing any good. And wasn't too long afterwards that I hooked that one fish and she broke me off. Only square bill I had, which kind of sucks. But here's the color. This is what it looked like. After Sunday, the event on Sunday for Yak-A-Bass and hooking that one big fish, I definitely know now that square bill is a way to go. It's probably going to be something I'm going to definitely add to my arsenal. I'm going to try to buy quite a few of those. It seems to be this area, the craw pattern seems to be the best color for those square bills. If I was to go again, I would throw a square bill, surprisingly. As I was cruising down the bank, I'd also throw a topwater. My cousin Justin and my cousin Trey went out with their uncle just before I was getting off, and after I got home, they texted me and said they caught quite a few fish on the topwater, and also on a fluke. Fluke gets thrown a lot out there too, so I might pick up a fluke as well. If I was to go out there, I might throw a red spinnerbait rather than the standard white or white and chartreuse or just straight chartreuse, because those do get thrown out there a lot. So I'd probably try to throw a red one just to change it up a little bit. One of my weaknesses as an angler is fishing grass and fishing dirty water. Most of our reservoirs are really clear and deep, and they don't really have whole lot of vegetation, and they seem to be clear. So those two things seem to are my weaknesses. That's what I'm used to fishing. So probably if I was to go out there and fish that grass, I'd probably throw something like a Carolina rig. I believe that's the best thing to be throwing out there. If you have any suggestions on what to throw in the grass, please leave them in a comment. I would appreciate it. That's something I want to become a better angler as fishing grass. Dirty water is tough for pretty much everybody, from my understanding, but if you have any suggestions for that as well, go ahead and leave them in a comment. I appreciate it. So that's pretty much my day. Don't forget about the Yak-A-Bass Fish and Chill coming up May 16th at Surgar Barge, the second event. It's free to participate, no entry fee, no membership or anything. It's purely social. It's a friendly competition. The way it works is the guy who actually comes in with the 3 longest fish gets to pick our next outing in June, which will be really cool. Looking forward to that. So hit up Yak-A-Bass on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram, Poker Fishing. And if you have any questions about Yak-A-Bass or any of my videos, go ahead and send me an email at wildwaters.jones@gmail.com. Thank you, and see you on the water.